Imagine a city hospital in 2035. The emergency wing, the corridors, silent. No nurses rushing past, no families pacing the waiting room, no doctors shouting orders. The building still stands, but its purpose has evaporated, not because healthcare collapsed, but because your body no longer needs it the way it once did. The last hospital as we know it will close its doors before the year 2035. Not because medicine has failed, but because it has evolved into something so small, so integrated, so personal, that the idea of going to the doctor will feel as archaic as sending a telegram. This is not science fiction. This is the story of your body in 2035, and the invisible army already being built to heal it. For centuries, medicine followed the same model. You got sick, you visited a doctor, you waited, you were diagnosed, sometimes correctly, sometimes not. In 2035, that model is obsolete. Artificial intelligence now reads your body's chemical signals in real time, not through a blood test drawn twice a year, not through a questionnaire about your symptoms, but through a continuous stream of data, your sweat, your breath, your heart rate variability, your sleep architecture, analyzed by algorithms trained on the medical histories of 1 billion patients. These systems do not guess. They do not miss the rare disease because your doctor last read about it in medical school 20 years ago. They identify abnormalities the moment they emerge, days or weeks before you feel a single symptom. In trials conducted by Google Health and Stanford Medicine, artificial intelligence diagnostic systems have already demonstrated accuracy rates that exceed human specialists in detecting cancers, retinal disease, and cardiac abnormalities from imaging. By 2035, this will not be a tool doctors use. It will be the doctor itself, regulatory approved, continuously learning, available to anyone with a pulse. But diagnostics are only the first act. The real revolution happens not in a hospital, but inside your bloodstream. Nanotechnology, machines measured in billionths of a meter, is moving from laboratory concept to clinical reality. These devices, smaller than a red blood cell, are designed to patrol your body continuously, identifying cancer cells, repairing damaged tissue, dissolving arterial plaque, before it becomes a heart attack. In 2025, the first Food and Drug Administration-approved nanobot therapies are already targeting specific cancers, delivering chemotherapy directly to tumor cells while leaving healthy tissue untouched. The side effects that defined cancer treatment for generations, hair loss, nausea, immune collapse, are fading into history. By 2035, these nanobots will not require a hospital visit to deploy. They will be injected once and persist, programmable, updatable, self-replicating under controlled conditions. Your body becomes its own hospital, staffed by an invisible army that never sleeps, never makes errors, and never misdiagnoses. Researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology have already demonstrated nanobots capable of repairing cellular damage at the mitochondrial level. The implications extend beyond disease, into aging itself. But here is the question no technology company wants to answer out loud. Who owns the data your body generates? In 2035, your bloodstream is not private. It is a broadcast. Every nanobot, every implant, every wearable patch is reporting your glucose levels, your neural activity, your genetic predispositions to a cloud server somewhere. This information is worth more than your medical file ever was, not because it can heal you, but because it can predict you. Insurance companies will want access to determine your premiums, not based on your age or your smoking habit, but on real-time biological indicators of stress, inflammation, and cellular decay. Employers will want access to assess your long-term health risk before making hiring decisions. Governments will want access to monitor public health and, inevitably, individual behavior. Privacy, as a concept, exists now mostly in philosophy classrooms. By 2035, the most intimate space left to us, our own biology, becomes the final frontier of surveillance. The nanobots that save you will also know you, completely, and someone else will own that knowledge. The fossil fuel era did not end with a dramatic collapse. It ended with a quiet irrelevance. The way candlelight faded when electricity arrived. Medicine is undergoing the same transition. In 2035, you will not fear a cancer diagnosis the way your parents did. You will not spend weeks awaiting test results. You will not watch loved ones die from conditions that were treatable had they been caught earlier. Diseases that killed millions, malaria, tuberculosis, certain cancers, will be detected and neutralized before you ever feel their weight. Life expectancy will stretch. The boundary between medicine and augmentation will blur, and we will need to ask whether healing the sick and enhancing the healthy are the same thing. But the human cost is real. The intimacy of a doctor who knows your name, your history, your fear. The quiet dignity of a body that is not monitored, not optimized, not reduced to data points. The trust that your biology belongs to you and no one else. These things do not survive the transition intact. The question is never whether the technology will arrive. It has already arrived. The question is always whether we are prepared for what it costs us. Your body in 2035 will heal itself. It will repair, regenerate, resist, with a precision no human physician could match. But it will also be watched, measured, monetized. The question is not whether you want to live longer. The question is whether you are ready to live in a world where your body is no longer fully your own. Do subscribe to The Next World to see what is coming next. The future waits for no one.